Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 3 of our F1 2021 Williams Road to Glory career mode. Yesterday we're here back ready for the duel in the Formula 1 crown. We head to the Monaco Grand Prix. And obviously if you guys missed out on the last video yesterday from Spain, definitely recommend going back and checking it out. But heading to Monaco though, not the best track in the world for the team or the car. Doesn't really suit our characteristics too much, but it is a track that I absolutely love on the F1 games as well though. So maybe, just maybe, we can drag out a good result this weekend. Right, so here we are then, qualifying day at the Monaco Grand Prix, one of the biggest Saturdays of the year, and today we can really try and get this Williams a little higher up the order if possible. We need to get a good lap hooked up. We're probably going to do some double runs in qualifying, obviously with it just being the one session, trying to get as many laps in as possible is going to be absolutely critical here. Free practice though, the car felt quite good. Felt like we could manoeuvre it around the track as well pretty tidily, so fingers crossed. Oh, just second guessing ourselves there a little bit. Yeah, fingers crossed we can get round with no issues. Round in the final couple of corners to finish off our first lap then in the session. What time is it going to be on the board? It's going to be about a 1:11. 1:11.1. So slower than Giovinazzi, half second off Schumacher as well. We need to find a lot more. This is the thing on F1 2021 now, where you know you can't nudge the walls in any situation. There's got yellow flags out. No idea what that's all about, but we won't worry about that all too much. Green flags again as we come up towards the line. It's going to be another couple of tenths. We're just slowly easing more pace out of the car. Moments like that, though, going to give us front wing damage.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
And instantly you can see how much that damage costs you. Back to the pits. New front wing, new set of tyres. Let's get it. Heading back out onto the circuit there. We're about 3 tenths off George at the moment, which I certainly feel is catchable in the latter stages of this session. Really got to try and take a lot of curb through turn 1, and instantly there's 2 of the 3 tenths we need on this run. Just got to be so smooth with the car there and just so careful as well. Oh, that was a bit close. Kick out the back end on the exit of the corner as well, down into upper Mirabeau. Just try and get the car rotated through, avoid all the bumps and everything like that, and through the hairpin. Still really struggling to get that right on F1 2021. Feeling like you've got to avoid that curve to be quick as well. Oh, it's the back end through Portier. Just gets a little bit unsettled there. Not too sure what that was all about. Still a couple of tenths up though as we head down through the hotel. And towards the next chicane there. Take as much curb as you dare on the exit. Gets close to the wall as well. Line yourself up for the run into Tabac. Back down a couple of gears. Oh, really open up the corner exit. Having to go half throttle through there just because the back end tends to get a little bit unsettled over the curbs. In towards the final couple of turns though through Anthony Noakes. Back end just squaring it back up again. Through Anthony Noakes we go. Up towards the line. It is going to be the 3 tenths we needed there. It's going to be about a 10.5 at the end of the session, and that puts us back up into P16. Quicker than Russell, but a bit of a mistake through 1.
It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
That's what we need to avoid doing again if we want to do double runs. Don't then panic looking at the times, get through turn 1 in one piece and save battery. Anyway, we're going to get a couple more runs in at the end of the session. Hopefully we can find a bit more. Track's still getting quicker at this late stage of the session. You can see George and I back now down into P18 and P19. So we need one more hooked up lap here from the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's see if we can try and get this dialed in and find a few more tenths. Not the best run through the first corner, but still a lot better than our original run. And we know there's definitely some time to be had around the lap. Through the hairpin for the final time in qualifying. Really got to crank a lock on through there. Still about a 10th down at the moment, so we need to find a little bit more on this lap. I do not want to end up down on the back row once again early on this season. A much better run through Portier than last time as we head now down in towards the chicane. Don't really want to use the curbing through there, but we do get away with it. Really leaning up towards the walls on the exit. Through to back we go. That was very close. Really got to try and straight line that second curb. Oh, straight line that one as well. Just about hold on to it there. Through Larascas. And in towards the final corner, Anthony Noakes. Can we get it? Hold on. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit. We're going to be about another 2 tenths up, so it is going to be an improvement. A 10-3. Where does that leave us? I think it's P18 on the grid, so not great, but better than we've done so far this year. Well, there we go then, qualifying done and dusted here at Monaco, and George Russell down in last place there. Not what our teammate wanted at the end of the session, but we went slower than both Haas cars as well. This track does tend to suit their car a little bit more than ours at the moment. Still, we have got a lot of upgrades going on to the aero and the chassis early on this year there, but fingers crossed, you know, we just keep it clean, keep it tidy, try and move forward here for the Monaco Grand Prix.
Nelson Piquet once said that driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room, and it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Vettel, Gasly, Sainz and Charles Leclerc, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen and Ocon, Tsunoda, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher and Mr. Monaco. Giovinazzi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right, here we are then, ready on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix, round 3 of the year here, and it is looking like a very, very cloudy day here at Monte Carlo. Hopefully no rain at any point over the course of this one here today. But the team is saying hards to mediums should be the way to go today, so we may as well stick with that strategy here. Keeping it clean and tidy, though, is going to be absolutely crucial, and maybe, just maybe, a lucky safety car as well for us. But getting ready then on the grid for the duel in the Formula 1 crown. It is 5 red lights. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go. Off to a fairly decent start. They're slightly better than Mick Schumacher. There is Mazepin, cuts off in front of his teammate down towards turn 1. Can we find the room around the outside? Yes, we can. Straight past the pair of them. And Kimi Raikkonen as we head up the hills to the dream little start to the Monaco Grand Prix. Raikkonen's going to try and come back at us at the top of the hill there, but we're just going to hang him out to dry as the Alfa Romeo thinks about having a look back at the inside through Casino Square there, but up 3 spots off the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. That was the absolute dream start. As Tsunoda going a bit slow into the hairpin. We'll sneak up the inside there, don't mind if I do. Try and kick the back end round as we head through the hairpin for the first time in this Grand Prix. So 4 places made up then at the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. That is absolutely what we needed here. But just like I said in the My Team video, now we've got to try and settle down into a rhythm, of course. That is absolutely critical around this track. Just keep it clean, keep it tidy early on. Build yourself up some pace slowly but surely. And then hopefully the race will come in your way as other cars make mistakes. Coming towards the end, though, of lap 1, I think it is still Hamilton who leads the way. As we head down through the Rascas. No, Bottas leads the way at the end of lap 1 there as we get all a little bit out of shape through the penultimate corner. Round in the final turn, though. We will survive the opening lap here at Monaco, but already 2 seconds to Esteban Ocon up the road. already feel like we're parking the bus a bit in this Grand Prix. It doesn't help that Sonoda's on a set of mediums and has got a much quicker car than ourselves.
1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But yeah, definitely parking the bus over Sonoda at the moment. The other backmarker cars, though, don't seem to be able to keep up still. I must admit, I do already feel a bit sorry for poor Yuki Tsunoda here in this Grand Prix. He's on quicker tyres than us in a much quicker car, and we are just ruining his afternoon. And we only got past him because he was patient down in through the hairpin. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure Yuki is already getting a bit annoyed with this, I won't lie. So we accidentally popped the car into neutral, but that's Monaco, mate. We'll enjoy the clear air for now. We're still pulling away from Kimi Räikkönen further behind there, but I'm just wondering when we're going to see the first AI into the pit lane here. Definitely feel like we've settled down quite nicely though. Tsunoda's not exactly hounding us at the moment, but can't really blame him early on. You don't really want to just be practically pushing the car along around here, especially with how brutal the damage model is. Remember, this series is on sim damage as well, so if we nudge a wall, we're well and truly screwed.
Green flag.
Oh, we got yellow flags out. Who's got issues? It's one of the Alfa Romeos. I think it's Giovinazzi falling to the wayside in this Grand Prix there, so a heartbreak for the young Italian. Or I say young, he's not particularly young by Formula 1 standards. Has he recovered it though? Not too sure what Giovinazzi's doing. Don't think so. So are we going to get a safety car? No, he's apparently
retiring the car.
He's found a safe place to park, so fair play to him for managing that round here. And unfortunately, yeah, no safety car to help us out. What are you, a quarter of the way into this Grand Prix though? Hamilton and Bottas, I think it's Bottas and Hamilton, sorry I should say, still leading the way. And you got both Red Bulls, both McLarens, then Pierre Gasly's teammate. Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda's teammate, even in this Grand Prix, running up in P7. Tsunoda down in 15th. It's not been the start of the year he would have wanted so far. And yeah, at the moment he's still just enjoying looking at the rear of this, I must admit, pretty gorgeous Williams on F1 2021. To be fair, if I was AlphaTauri, I'd just be boxing in Tsunoda now and seeing what the AlphaTauri is like on pace on those hards as we have to second guess ourselves again. At least try and give Gasly some info in this Grand Prix as we're just starting to make a couple of small slip-ups here and there. Focus, man. Get back in a rhythm. I think we got our first pitters as well in this Grand Prix. So this is what I was expecting to happen around now. Who is into the pits? It's Vettel and Leclerc, two former Ferrari teammates there, as well as Gasly and one of the McLarens. So we have got out ahead of, I think that's Daniel Ricciardo. Just come out the pit lane. I might be wrong, but they're all about to join the Mat 212 train. Lucky them. More and more cars into the pits at the end of lap 12. I think pretty much everyone has now made a stop in this Grand Prix apart from the Alpines. And we're going to come out just ahead of Lando Norris now in this race. So Tsunoda's dived it in as well then, so he's probably going to undercut us later on in this race unless he gets held up in another big train. But after all this, we're up into 7th in this Grand Prix. So safety car anytime within sort of the next 15 laps, please. Michael Massey, that would be great. Ricciardo, new fast lap of the Grand Prix. Don't think he's going to beat that time anytime soon. Got a lot of new ticket holders on the Mat 212 Express, but none of them, I mean, I'm sure they're all pressing the emergency exit.
Gap to the car in front is 7.6 seconds.
I just had a look on the mini-map. You can see Bottas managed to just get out ahead of a couple of the Alpines. And the gap he's now got over Hamilton, who's just in front of us, is ridiculous in this Grand Prix. To be fair, both Red Bulls have got between Hamilton and Bottas as well, so not too sure what's happened there as we get a little bit cheeky through the chicane. But yeah, just poor Lewis Hamilton today. Don't think it's going to be another Merc 1-2. Almost at the halfway stage of this Grand Prix, and for the first time all day, doesn't feel like we've got Tsunoda crowding our mirrors anymore. He's about over a second back now, so not too sure what's happened to Yuki, as we're actually pretty much now equaling our best lap of the Grand Prix again. A little bit sketchy through turn 1, but we will hold on to it. Oh, there we go, Tsunoda into the pits, so that's why he'd stayed out so long. Really starting to struggle on that rubber there as Alonso's in.
Push now.
And the team still want us to basically do half a Grand Prix on a set of the mediums there. I guess all those guys have done so. George into the pits as well, and that little nudge of the wall might just put pay to us. But Don't know if we picked up any damage from that. Car feels the same still, so we might have just somehow got away with that. Really just feel like we've got into a groove on these hards over the last few laps as soon as I say that. Nice big wobble through the swimming pool chicane. Ocon into the pits as well. So we are going to dive it in at the end of this one. We've done pretty well up to this point, I think, in the Monaco Grand Prix. No major mistakes, anything like that. Are we going to get undercut now, though, as Yuki Tsunoda must surely be on the lap of his life? I'm intrigued to see where Raikkonen's going to be as well, actually, because he spent a long time out in clear air. 2.3 second stop isn't too shabby either. So we head out of the final corner. We got Schumacher heading back down the pit straight. Heading back out of the pit lane, though. Are we going to stay ahead of Raikkonen? I think we are. Nice and tidy out of the pit lane. Yeah, we do stay ahead of Raikkonen, who's ahead of Tsunoda as well there. And then we've got quicker tyres than the AlphaTauri. We might just be able to pull away a little bit. Stroll, basically pushing Mick Schumacher around the circuit at this stage of the Grand Prix. Maybe we can have a look past the Canadian before the German dives into the pits. Have a look around the outside through lows. Yeah, nothing going there this time round. Don't want to do anything stupid, though, at this stage of the day. That's the other really, really important thing here. As we head out in towards this tunnel once more. Closing in just a little bit on Lance Stroll. It could be a brave move. Well, we thought about it, but never thought Stroll was going to give us the room there. He did actually jump out the way at the very last moment. That might just give Mick Schumacher the little bit of freedom he needed in this Grand Prix. It was a very, very audacious move by us, but I wonder if Stroll's going to even be able to get to the end. That was close. Yeah, I wonder if Stroll's actually going to get to the end of this Grand Prix, or whether all those medium runners are going to have to pit again. Schumacher into the pits now, so Stroll and myself have been unleashed. Let's see if we can match the Aston. Apart from the small mistake out of the final corner, we are definitely matching Lance Stroll at this stage of the race in his Aston Martin. Like I said, I don't know if he's got to try and pit again, or what Aston's plan is in the final half of this Grand Prix. Can we potentially look for a move? It'll be sooner rather than later. These tyres are still so fresh and sticky at this stage of the day. So we surely you've got to try and look for something sooner rather than later. Thought about it up the inside of the lows, but thought better of it that time round. If we stick close through Portier, we might again be able to go for a bit of a send in towards the chicane. Can we stay close enough to the Aston Martin? We lose a couple of tenths on the exit, but we use all the battery as we head down in towards the chicane. Up the inside we go. Oh, that's the best dive I think I'm going to pull off on F1 2021, and we're 3 days into the game.
Brilliant.
Holy moly.
Gap to car in front is 7.0 seconds.
Team love that as well, and I can see why. That was right on the edge. Let me know what you thought of that move down below. New personal best for the Grand Prix as well, down into the 11s. We are feeling in the groove at the moment, and actually taking a bit of time out of the Ferraris up the road. Could points be on the table here today? Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but can't say it hasn't crossed my mind. Still setting new PBs with just 11 to go here from the Monaco Grand Prix, and the gap to the Ferraris is still coming down. I want to believe there's a slim chance we can get points here, but again, we're going to have to be so brave, and I don't want to risk already what could be quite a good result for us. All over the back now of Carlos Sainz in this Grand Prix. Can we get close enough to go for anything? Oh, I think we could get close enough to go for a send at some point, but that lap was definitely not going to be the lap. We've also got to be careful. We've got Bottas closing in, unless, of course, I can use the Mercedes to sneak past these guys. Closing up to the back of Sainz, though, out of the final corner. We might be able to have a look back down in towards turn 1. Sainz goes defensive on us. Can we get the power down on the exit of the corner as we head up the hill? We might be able to have a look at the inside now. At the inside of Carlos Sainz at the top of the hill, but just not brave enough on the brakes there. But at least we know it's possible. He'll now close back up to Charles Leclerc, and I think it's Fernando Alonso in this Grand Prix again. But we'll save some battery and try that once more. Unless we can go around the outside here. No, in a word. Been concentrating so much over the last few laps, trying to keep pressure to Carlos Sainz. Can we get a run out of the final corner on him again? Can we force him defensive back in towards turn 1? Not quite that time round there as we lock up the rears through the first corner. We are pushing this thing to the limit at this stage, and I don't think Bottas is going to come in clutch and try and help us out. I think we are just going to have to try and get this done on the road. No other intervention. We're going to have to be brave if we want to pull it off. Staying really close to Carlos out into the tunnel. We're going to drain all the battery now. We're going to have a look for it. This is surely got to be the run up the inside in towards the chicane. Oh, Sykes jumps out of the way there. We squeeze him out. And we're now up at the 12th of the Monaco Grand Prix. 6 laps to go here. Can we overtake 2 more cars and get this thing into the points? Oh, Charles again breaking very, very early into Larascas. Can we try and stay close to him at the final turn? Get close enough to go for a run back down towards turn 1. We are gaining on the Ferrari, but not quite gaining enough there as the all 4 tyres are just screaming at us at this stage of the Grand Prix. We get a good run up the hill in towards Casino Square. Just nothing working at the moment. And yeah, these tyres, you can just see, really crying out now in pain. Charles, all over the back of him as we head out of Portier. Just a little bit of wheel spin, though, on the exit of the corner. Are we going to be able to have a look for something down in towards the chicane? Up the inside we go again. And again, we just about get it slowed down. And that is going to be us having to 11th place now of the Monaco Grand Prix. The team happy again with the dive bombs, the third one we pulled off. Now we've got 1.7 to try and close up to Ocon. Let's try and get these tyres cooled back down again and go for one last attack. Oh, we got yellow flags out right at the dying stages of this Monaco Grand Prix. It's one of the Alpha Tauris. I'm guessing that's Tsunoda with issues in this Grand Prix. So a disappointing day for Yuki Tsunoda. Just gets even worse and worse as we head in towards the final laps here. Heartbreak for him. He's done so well to get this far. He will, of course, still be classified this late on in the Grand Prix, but he parks it down in Upper Mirabeau, and we've got one more lap to try and close up to Ocon. Final lap then of the Monaco Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas has won this historic event here in 2021, but we want to try and claim Williams' first points of the year, their first points since 2019, but I don't think we're quite going to have enough at the end unless Ocon makes a bit of a mistake. I just don't see us getting any opportunity there. You can see just how much the tyres are struggling to find grip and to find traction at this stage of the day, and it's going to be heartbreaking. We're definitely nowhere near close enough to go for anything in towards the chicane. And Ocon, I think, is just about going to do it here at the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been a valiant effort, though, from ourselves, as you can probably see on the face cam. I am sweating buckets at this stage of the Grand Prix. There's been so much concentration and try and keep this thing facing the right direction, but as we head through the final couple of corners here in Monaco, it's a valiant attempt, but it's not going to be points. P11 here at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
They've done it then. They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So, let's review the drivers' standings. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
It's time to see how things are shaping up In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Monaco Grand Prix. And they don't call me Mr. Monaco for nothing. They're gutted, though, that we couldn't get some points on the board at the end of the day. There's 0.6 of a second between myself and Ocon. Was all that separated us when all is said and done there. But Bottas takes the win. Fastest lap as well there. The win by 23 seconds. It never looked in any doubt after he got the lead on lap 1. Perez P2 ahead of Verstappen there. Hamilton will be wondering what on earth went wrong to finish down in P4. They're ahead of Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. Gasly finishes ahead of Alonso, Vettel and Ocon, rounding out your point scorers there. A disappointing day from Ferrari, both outside of the point. Stroll in 14th ahead of Raikkonen. Mazepin, Russell there down in 17th at the end of the day, ahead of Schumacher there, and Tsunoda and Giovinazzi both not making it to the checkered flag means championship-wise. But up to P15, obviously best of the non-point scorers so far at this stage of the year. Bottas still leads the way there, 30 clear of his teammate Lewis Hamilton there. Perez in P3 ahead of Verstappen, Norris and Gasly. Charles Leclerc down to 7th, tied with Danny Rick. Vettel up to 9th now ahead of Carlos Sainz. And yeah, Ocon jumps Tsunoda, and we jump most of the backmarker cars as well. Constructors-wise, Mercedes still dominant out front. Red Bull P2. Ferrari get the jump on McLaren after that good weekend, though. And yeah, we get past Alfa Romeo once more on a count back as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. We're round 4 of the year. We head to Azerbaijan. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive, massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick and Chuan for being a member of the channel. If you guys want to help us out as well, obviously you can join for just £1 a month with some other exclusive perks by clicking the join button down below.